This is Red Ice Radio, a beacon of sanity from Northern Europe.
Today we have Peter Lindberg with us from the Ocean X team in Sweden to discuss the mysterious Baltic Sea object that they found June 19th last year, 2011, between Sweden and Finland while looking for sunken treasures, an anomaly that has been making headlines worldwide ever since. Stay with us to find out more. All right, welcome, Peter, and thank you for coming on the program. First of all, I know how busy you guys are and how much various media outlets out there around the world at this point, I think, are chasing after you guys. So I really appreciate you taking the time to speak with us today, Peter. So welcome.
Thank you.
Now, obviously, I want to talk about some of the latest news regarding this mysterious object found at the bottom of the Baltic Sea. And I know you've told the story many times, but just in case, Peter, we don't want to leave anyone behind here, any of our new listeners and so forth, maybe you can just summarize for us the chain of events, when and where and how you find this thing that we're going to talk about here today.
Yeah, it was on a wreck search expedition last year, and actually it was the last day, and we were on our way home with a leaking boat, and well, we had lots of problems, and we decided to search for a wreck on our way home, which I knew should be somewhere in that area, and we put our search equipment in the water, and we started, and just an hour later this circular object turned up on the monitor, and of course we were quite surprised about how it looked like. But we continued to search for the wreck, and later that day we heading for home. So we ended the expedition. So we never take a look at that time what it was. Yeah, last year we didn't really know. We could see it was a circular object or something that was nearly 60 meters across, and it had a tail which was like 1,200 meters long, or in the vicinity of that, and but we didn't know really if it was standing up above the bottom or if it was down into the bottom, because we had far from optimal conditions when we found it. But now when we have had a real look at it, we know that it's raising about 15 meters above the bottom, so it's quite high. You know, the surface is quite smooth, so they have quite problems to hang on to it when the current starts.
Oh, wow. So they're actually drifting away a little bit, to put it in that way? Yeah.
Wow. They had to, if they wanted to go against the current, they had to swim quite hard, and as soon as they relaxed a bit, they just follow the current in the other direction. The second expedition, we found out that it looks like these two things are separated, but we don't really know for sure, but it sure looks like it. And it's the lower part, the foundation or the pillar as we call it, is about 7 meters high, and are about 60 meters across as well as the upper part. And the upper part is not exactly round, but very, very round shaped, and has this 60 meters across as well. But the surface on the upper part is different from the foundation. The foundation really looks like ordinary granite or gneiss, or what we call it, ordinary rock for Scandinavia, while the upper part seems to be of another kind of material or mineral. It's much smoother surface. They have this very strange stair formations. They thought it looked like a UFO, but as you say, we have never said it's a UFO. I mean, people have been angry about that we can't say it is, but I mean, we don't know, even if it's very unique in its kind. So we were finding so much strange things about it. So, well, we'll see what happens on next expedition. Yeah, on the first expedition we had a multi-beam equipment with us, and that is equipment. It works like a sonar, but it is shooting thousands of beams, and you're going back and forth over the area, and after a while you can process the data and make a three-dimensional image of the bottom or the object. But of course we had some problems with that. So the data is at the company down in Denmark right now, and they are trying to get this three-dimensional images out of the data. And I think they will succeed, because they have sent quite a nice image up here. Yeah, exactly. And all the samples we have taken from the object is at Stockholm University, and they also have vacation. So we do not get any answers as fast as we would like to. And of course, all our followers at Facebook, our Facebook page and so on. So, but really, we're just waiting. Exactly.
So the rings seem to be separate, and I recall I heard another interview with you, Peter, and you mentioned something about there seems to be a soot or something on the stones. Is that correct?
Yeah, some of them have this very black soot, and you can scrape it off with your fingers. And one of the loose stones that we brought up was basalt stone. And the geologist said that, okay, the nearest place for these kind of basalt is the middle ridge in the Atlantic.
Really?
So that was quite strange. And the reason why we took that stone was because it was very black and didn't have any kind of sediment on it, or very, very little sediment. Stones laying beside it had sediment, but this one hadn't. So we took it because of that. And well, that's also a big question. What does that basalt stone doing there when it probably comes from the Atlantic?
Indeed, and there's obviously a draw here, because something is mysterious enough to keep you guys going with this and want to have answers. So, I mean, therefore, it must be, it seems like there's something else. I mean, for example, let's talk about this thing about the your gear being affected in some way. There seems to be a disruption when you use certain electronics. Tell us about this.
Oh, well, yeah, we have had lots of problems with all the electronics, and the divers' cameras broke down, and so on and so on. And we had the cable to the ROV had a real short circuit, which burnt a hole through the cable. And I don't know what to say. There have been a lot of problems.
Now, do you have any guesses at this point? I've heard a lot of people around speculate when they heard this that it's some kind of causing this surge in energy. It's electromagnetic. It's some kind of almost electromagnetic pulse, acts like a shield. Some people have talked about this being a part of a torsion field and everything else. Any comments on this, Peter?
But we have done a measuring with a frequentometer, which you use to find out if there are any kind of radio transmissions and so on. Well, anyway, we have done that, but we doesn't have the result yet.
Absolutely. Is there anything test-wise that you guys would like to do, but maybe haven't had access to that type of gear or technology yet?
Yeah, I would like to actually make a core, drill a core and take a core sample right through the object and down through the foundation, and probably as deep as possible, just to find out what it is, really. And I think that is one thing you have to do before you get a real answer.
Has the authorities around the Baltic said anything at this? Governments, other kinds of institutions from either Sweden or Finland, have they commented anything or contacted you, or have you tried to contact them, Peter?
The only authority that has contacted us is the Swedish military, and they just told us that if it is on Swedish waters, you are not allowed to record sea floor mapping because it's of national security reasons.
Let's talk about some of the theories that have been coming out as well, and I want to get your take on this, even if it's speculation. And it seems to me as well, Peter, that the more you find out about the object, the less you know, the more questions you have, right? That seems to be the case.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
So it's pretty much impossible to say what it is at this stage. Is that correct?
Yeah, it is impossible. We can agree on a few theories, but we can't tell that it is this or that.
Okay, we'll leave it off. And you guys are also participatory right now with a production company of actually filming and detailing the whole story. Is that correct?
Yes, they are doing a documentary, so they are following us on our expeditions.
Well, so that's going to be really exciting. I guess there are things there as well that you haven't been able to talk about yet, and there are maybe more aspects to this that haven't been revealed at this stage. Is that correct?
Yes, we have a few aces up our sleeves, but we're not doing it to. I mean, many people are telling us that we are just a big hoax and so on, but we're not. We don't know what it is, but of course, to save a few things for the documentary, we are not telling everything. So we will reveal some quite interesting things in the documentary.
All right. Well, really good. Thank you so much for your time today, Peter. Really appreciate it. We're going to keep on monitoring this story, of course, and we hope we can have you back when and if things indeed develop and if there's more things found out. So really appreciate it. Thank you again, Peter.
Thank you.